morning, and welcome to the Morning DNA for September 14th, 2020. I am Aaron Dicer, the man of a single black shirt. She is, Danae says, the woman of a million distractions, and we're going to hopefully find out what today is made of. And yes, it is a morning show, Slab. I apologize, but this morning shows happen in the morning. That's
at least
what
our
this
morning.
is. Yeah, at least morning here. You could move. See, it's really on you, Slab, is what I'm saying. You can move to a different time zone where it's noon. Look, 9 Central is noon somewhere.
I think it's because of his job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
like the hours are just not great.
Yeah.
And so Slab actually wakes up to watch the show and then goes back to bed.
Well, thank you. The amount of commitment there is amazing. Polly says good morning as well. Jason says good morning. It's nice to see everybody kind of popping in and hanging out with us on this Monday. We do this Mondays and some days. Who knows, the other days will pop in. The only way to make sure you're tuned in is to follow or subscribe at one of the many outlets in which this show goes live. In fact, you'll notice with the comments that we put up that they have little different symbols in the corners of them. Those represent where people are commenting from, whether it be Twitch or Twitter, which is Periscope, or YouTube or Facebook. I mean, the other one, sorry, the social network that shall not be named. It's going to be a struggle. Yeah. It's going to be a struggle.
It's going to be a struggle. But also those who are joining on that platform, we do appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. We appreciate you very much. That's why we have started broadcasting to the platform that shall not be named. So yeah, Abby says good morning as well. Cyregdo says, I can't wait till the Someday episode. It's going to be the best one yet. we had 2 Someday episodes last week, didn't we?
Yeah, but Someday never comes, you know.
Well, that's true.
I get it, Cyregdo. That's just funny stuff.
That's a fair point. I will also let you know, if you like listening via podcast, the Monday episodes are in the Shoe the Dough podcast feed as Shoe the Dough Season 6. And that's the podcast that Danae and I started 8 years ago and continues on to this day. And then the Someday episodes are bonus episodes for our Team DNA members. So if you want to be a member of Team DNA, it's $5 a month. And you can check that out at Patreon. We are currently 9 members away from our next goal, which you have decided.
Okay. Can I show this real quick?
Sure, please do.
Okay, first of all, Polly, yes, you're correct. If you miss it, it's on Shoe the Dough, but I think we're just doing Monday's episodes. We're not doing every single episode. If you want to hear every episode, is that bonus on our network, Aaron? I'm not sure.
Correct. The Someday episodes are in your own podcast feed if you are a member of Team DNA. You get all of the episodes in the same podcast feed if you want to.
So here's the reveal. This is the shirt. This is the stretch goal. This is what we're going to make Aaron wear instead of his single black shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you, Schadenfreude, for finding the one, the only dragon shirt.
I tell you what, what we'll do, and again, we're 9 members away, but what we will do.
Look at that.
What we will do is we will let you continue.
Whoa. Danae's got control. Danae's got control. I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
It's all right, Danae. I'll get you back there.
Scary.
What you can, this is what happens when you give the woman of a million distractions control of the show. Let's do this. Continue to suggest the shirt. And again, I'm going to wear it for a week straight. And we'll have a vote amongst our Team DNA members which shirt I will wear for the week once we get to 30 Team DNA members. So thank you. Thank you, Shady. Appreciate
I mean, that's a great shirt. I'm jealous of that shirt. That's a Dragon Horde shirt. That's a Dungeon Master shirt. It's a nice shirt. It's got color. It's got richness. It's got texture. It's got history. It's got story.
Are you writing like some sort of Hamilton-esque stage play right now?
No.
Like, that was a pretty amazing song. We almost went into These Chips Are Good there for a second.
Thank you. I've never seen Hamilton, so and I've never listened to Hamilton music.
Because you refuse to watch or see things that everybody loves.
I don't know that I refuse.
Well, it's like a mental block. It's like, yeah, I know everybody loves it. There's either yes, I'm exactly the same as everybody else, or I hate something that everybody loves. Like, there's no upside to you to like go into it psychologically.
Sure.
Too much couch psychologist there.
No, I don't. I'll have to absorb that later and decide.
Another suggestion for the shirt.
No, Nick. So I watch a show on YouTube called Critical Role, and it's a tabletop role play game. So, and it's for those who really love that style of gaming.
Hmm.
They're really great storytellers and everything. But one of the storytellers, one of the player characters, he will oftentimes show up in a shirt that is the dungeon master's face or the main storyteller's
Hmm.
face.
Yeah.
It is absolutely hilarious. But I'll leave that to Sam Riegel. That's Sam Riegel's thing. I don't know that I want to.
Sure. I
You would do
understand.
that though. You would super do that,
I
wouldn't you?
listen. I am at the will of the people. I have submitted myself to the whims and whimsy of our amazing Team DNA members. So
Oh my God.
continue to suggest a way. How was your weekend, Danae? Let's just catch up a little bit. Like, how are things?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's been a very good weekend. It was a very full weekend. My husband and I were able to find a babysitter, so we got to go hang out with some friends and watch a movie and have some pizza, and that was fun. So
I
yeah,
know
it was
those
good.
friends.
You do,
I know
yeah.
those friends. They live at my house.
Yeah. Yeah, we hung
They're
out with your bed bugs. It was awesome.
you came and hung out with my wife and my son, and I appreciate that. Yeah, we watched Game Night. That was fun. I've seen that movie now like 6 times, and
Yeah,
it's fun
we
every
hadn't
time.
seen Game Night yet. And so it was fun.
Yeah, it was
So
good.
what a great, fun, hilarious movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I really enjoyed it. Have you guys seen Game Night? Let us know if you've seen it. Pop it
Yeah.
up in the comments.
I spent much of my weekend after you guys left digging under the kitchen sink and trying to figure out a plumbing problem. So that's always fun. That's a good way to
Ooh,
spend your
that's
weekend.
dangerous, man. That's
Oh
gross
man.
stuff.
We augured out like 20 feet and still couldn't figure out what's going
Oh
on.
God.
It went from 0 to 60. It went from like 0 to 60 nothing, everything's flowing, and then all of a sudden nothing's flowing, and it's
Oh
like
my
what
God.
what
I
what
thought
did my children stuff down the sink?
I,
That's
I
all I need to know.
legitimately thought that you were gonna say you augured out 20 feet of something.
Oh, no,
I
I
was like,
wish.
no. I mean, yes, but no.
At least then we know the auger can't, it couldn't get through whatever was
Oh,
down there, like 22
gross.
feet. So, anyhow, lots of love for Game Night in the comments, of course. It's absolutely fabulous
Yeah,
movie.
what a fun the the main lead. What's the main lead's guy's name?
Jason Bateman, who's one of my
He's
favorites.
great.
Yeah, he's so good.
I don't see him in enough stuff. He was so fun. And of course, Adams is just she's exhilarating to watch, especially in a comedy. So the two of
Hmm.
them together was just my fave. I really, really enjoyed it. But I don't laugh a lot in movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's really hard to tell if I like something. And my husband was really concerned that I wasn't having a good time. He clearly was. He was laughing a
Yeah.
whole bunch.
Yeah.
I laughed one time. I was smiling a lot and I had joy inside a lot, but that's not like showing on the outside.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Dave says
Anyway.
hello. Hey, Dave. Good to hear from you, man.
Hey, man.
Thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Jill checking in as well. Says good morning,
Oh,
Danae.
Jill, you beautiful woman. I hope you are well.
She is at the site that shall not be named. Just so we're clear. And that's fine. That's fine. Everybody can exist, where they want to exist. You ready to shoe a dough? Danae, you ready to get into this?
Let's
All right.
shoe a dough. Well, actually, hold on.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh no. What happened?
Well, I was asked to do a plant update. Should I do that before the show starts officially?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Do that now. Yeah. Before we officially start.
Okay, so I was asked to do a plant update. Now, I'm not going to do an every plant update. That's too many stories.
Just the nuclear plant. That's the only plant she's going to update, the local nuclear plant.
Okay, so this is the plant as it is today. And we're going through my pictures. Sorry. And this is the plant as it started. So as you can tell, we've had a problem. So this is where I got the plant. You could tell it's luscious.
Nice.
It's
nice.
long.
Lots of growth. Yeah.
We called her Merida because she looks like all this crazy hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up happening is, as you can tell, the sun comes in on the left side. And then on the right side, it's just kind of looking like not. There's lots of growth on that side, but it's not getting any sun.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out this plant loves sun. So then I just noticed that it wasn't doing well. I turned it around and realized on the back side it was all getting white where the plant was pressed up against the wall, or I
Right.
kind of missed a
Right.
section.
Right.
So I tried to do, here's my family. That's Justin, my husband. Those are my 2 dogs. Okay, so then I
Let's
had to
just go
do,
through your pictures today, Danae. Let's
okay.
just go through all your pictures.
So then this is what it looks like now. And
Hey, they're still green there.
no,
They're still green.
that's the good news, guys, is like that's growth. That's new babies. Now, I just moved it 2 days ago to where you can tell the sun is coming in from the front. This is actually the shadow right here on the right side is me blocking this picture.
Right,
But
right.
now it's fully facing the sun. And you can tell that on the right side it still isn't growing very well, but I'm hopeful that like now that it has fully front facing sun coming in from a better window that
Mhm.
she'll be happy. But Merida got a buzz cut, and so all of those long pigtails are now planted into something else, and I'm hoping I've got some in water sprouting, and then I've got some in soil that I'm trying to keep really, really wet so that it can sprout. So we'll see if I can like bring the pigtails back to life and put them in
Yeah.
some new pots. But
Did
that's where that one is.
did Merida get a like a haircut update from Wreck-It Ralph? Like when all the princesses were in Wreck-It Ralph? Do you remember? Did she get like a modern? Because that could be like kind of Merida goes
I
modern,
don't know.
kind of
I'm gonna
thing.
look.
I don't remember what she necessarily looked like in Wreck-It Ralph. Can we just talk for a second? You touched on something that just like got to one of those pet peeves of mine. Can we talk about shadowing your own pictures and how annoying that is? Like so many times I find myself wanting to take a picture of something for posterity or for the internet or for whatever. And it's like my stupid hand shadow or my head shadow. I'm like, where's the light coming from? How do I? And so then I'm like, you remember rabbit ears? I feel like the guy trying to get the rabbit ears to get the signal, trying to get my shadow out of the picture. It's just, am I the only one? Is that not
It's
something that happens to
awful.
everybody? Do most people not care about that? They're just like, yeah,
I
that's my shadow. It's in my
I
picture.
try to like angle it where it's maybe just my arm and a little bit of the phone, but it just doesn't always work that way. Anyway,
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
but great. I mean, good observation, Aaron.
Archimedes Amazonas says that I'm not alone. So thank you.
Did
I
you
appreciate
did you show? I was like super looking at my picture. Did you show comments about the
I
plant as it
did.
was coming in?
Yes, I did.
I'm
Yeah.
just seeing them, and I love lollies. I'm not gonna update every
Yeah.
plant. That's too much death for a Monday morning. That's brutal, but true.
It is true, unfortunately.
Although technically everything is still alive. It's just variations of being alive.
Lolly also said in all caps, puppies. So
Oh,
I think
yeah.
people were glad to see your puppies this morning.
All right.
All right,
I'm
we
ready.
can get into it. We can get into it now. We are going to do the DNA and you. So that is Danae, Aaron, and you. So be thinking now about a topic or a question that you have for us to answer this morning. We would love to know what that is, and we'll take those at the end. We always start off with Danae. Danae, what is your topic today?
So as you guys know, I have officially like moved into a new house. I have this new office. This is my little recording closet that you're seeing behind me. And I have now a place for all of my keepsakes and things to belong. And so I've been trying to do the mental gymnastics of getting into my keepsakes, which is a lot. I have so much I can share with you, but I just found one thing I thought was hilarious. And this is back in my hotels.com days. So shout out. I actually know some people that I worked with that are watching the show right now. So I found this and I was like, what is this? And this is what it looks like. It's just,
Is
it
that
says,
French?
yeah, it's Lamati. I think that means friend application. It says, like these variations of
I
pick
believe
me.
you mean application.
Application. Here's all, it's just silliness. I was like, what is this? I didn't remember what this was. And then it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of a fake friendship application.
Nice.
And I actually have the person's name on here. So I know and we used to have a lot of fun together. I'm not going to read his name, but we had such a good time. It's got like the name, the birthday, and then it has like your applicant's birthday to test to see if they know my birthday, because obviously.
Yeah, that's not a hypocritical question at all for you to put on a friendship application.
Hey, I mean, I don't gotta. Here are the questions I put on my friendship application, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to just get like funny ones that you would throw out.
Okay.
Your favorite thing about your right index finger?
Right Is the pointer the index?
Yeah. So here's the funny thing. I'm just reading the answers because I thought this was like, I didn't know what this was at first. So the answer is the wrinkles on the knuckle for this person, right?
I mean, those are good.
And
those
I was like, what is the question? And then I'm like, wait, what is this? And then I had the memory of making a ridiculous friendship application.
I have a very prominent double wrinkle on the lower bend.
Oh yeah. That's cool. I have 4 right there.
Are we going to go over every single one of these questions?
No, of course not. Of course not. The one superpower you think you have, but it just isn't working right now. I just thought this is so fun. I haven't read these. I decided I put this down. I was like, we're doing this on the show. I'm not reading any more. So the only one that I read was the index finger one.
You know, these would make a great segment, right? Like, it feels like these are things we could pull one friendship application question out and be like, would I still be, your friend if this was my answer to this kind of question kind of thing? But yeah.
Okay, good, because we're coming up on the multiple choice, so we could stop now. I have
one more. Do one more.
Well, did you answer the question about the superpower, or do you want to wait?
Keeping Danae focused, I think, is the superpower that I think I have that just doesn't seem to be working right now.
That's actually genuinely true.
Right?
Oh,
right.
You found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just read from the front page so we don't go any further, so I don't ruin anything later that I'll be surprised by.
Fair enough.
Okay. Your left index finger's favorite thing about your right nostril. God, I was such... Wow, guys.
Wait, did you write these?
I wrote these. Yeah.
What? These are great. That's amazing. I thought this was like something you downloaded off the internet or something.
No. I created this application.
Oh, this is amazing. You have to, we have to sell this. We're going to make millions. This is, we'll just make a downloadable PDF. It'll completely, support the show for like decades.
Yeah. I forgot to say the first legal name, and then that's in parentheses said not including code name, game name, or gangster name was the first part.
We should absolutely make this PDF available to all of our Team DNA members, and they have to fill it out to be a part of Team DNA.
Do you know how long it is?
They don't have to.
I can make a Google form, like a little
right. Yeah, just some. Anyhow, I'm just saying this is fun stuff.
Okay, well, I'm glad you like it. I'm gonna set it aside then. You guys, thank you for playing along and having fun.
Slab, one of the questions he would put on his is, on a scale of 1 to banana, what's your favorite color and why is it water?
That's good.
And my answer to that question is, you spelled color wrong. We're in America. No, I'm just kidding.
I love the U personally. It's my favorite.
Well, I love you too, but it's the spelling of the word.
I don't know what that was. That sounded like I don't know what that was. Hey, this is why you guys watch the show, right? To watch me and Aaron just be weird together.
It was a platypus with COVID, is what it sounded like.
That's a bad joke. We don't make COVID jokes. COVID serious.
Not yet. Still too early. You're right. Probably still too early. Amazon, Archimedes Amazonas says, I'm still stuck on the superpower thing. That's fine. Hey, you take as long as you need. We're here for you.
Oh, Aaron, your superpower is not finding clogs.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
I'm just helping.
Talk about too soon. It's just a too soon show today.
I do want to ask a quick clarifying question about that. You never figured out why it was clogged, or you did and it's fixed?
No, we've got a plumber coming today.
Oh.
So.
Man, that stinks.
Yeah. No, literally it does. Literally our kitchen smells really, really bad right now.
Oh my God. When we came over to your house, your wife.
Yes.
We were in the kitchen. And you wanted to show us your garage that you cleaned out that you talked about. We were like, cool, let's do it. And she like bodyguarded, like you do in sports, like where you do like either in football or basketball, where you kind of have your zone.
She set a screen. Yeah.
She set up, she's like, keep moving. Don't look at the sink. Keep moving.
Don't look at the sink. Don't look at the sink. Well,
Justin and I actually turned with our back towards the sink and did that awkward like sidle thing where you just
right. Yeah. I mean, thankfully, at that point, we hadn't opened up the pipes yet, so the smell wasn't there, so we could, eat our pizza without being grossed up. But since we opened up the pipes, we have had to eat everything outside of the kitchen. Like this morning, I went and got my bowl of cereal, took it to my bedroom. I'm just
Oh
like, I am
no.
not eating in here.
Gross.
So, yeah, exactly.
Lolly's superpower is making the perfect cup of tea, but I live in a country of coffee
Oh,
drinkers.
very
That is
nice.
that's a great answer because
hmm
people don't appreciate good tea.
It's
Although
like it's
my
like
brother-in-law does.
Superman on his own planet. Like, it doesn't have the sun to power him. So yeah, it's like you're in a weird place where your superpower does no good.
Oh, good.
All right,
On
let's
to
move
you,
on to
sir.
the A. Do you like to save on your own, or would you rather someone do it for you? Do you like to actively save money, or have it just taken out and saved? The reason this came up for me is I don't know if you've heard about the tax deferral that's going into effect this month. A lot of people are going to be seeing higher paychecks. I think if you make less than $105,000 a year, your paycheck may end up being, I know, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. If you do, then your paycheck is going to end up being higher if your employer. I did a lot of study on this, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But if your employer opts in, your Social Security tax, which I think is like 6.2%, will be deferred to next year. So your checks are going to be higher. But here's the thing. It's still going to be due. You're just going to pay it January to April. So you're going to have extra money coming in at the end of the year that you're going to have to spend at the beginning of next year. And I'm just like, as used as we are to like living paycheck to paycheck, people are going to be so caught off guard next year when it's like, wait, all of a sudden, why am I getting paid less, than I was before? I don't know. I see a lot of potential for real confusion going on with this thing. Had you even heard of
Yeah.
this?
No, because I don't like to read things that make me uncomfortable.
Well, I thought this was a safe enough topic. It is politics because it's legislation, but it's not really politics. It's more about like something that is actually happening. There's a factual thing that's happening.
I do
So
I do want to say I'm thankful for friends like this. And maybe you guys have this in your life too, where there's someone that will read and research and figure things out and explain it to you, even though you feel like you're dumb or something. Like I genuinely appreciate this about Aaron because I get to learn about things that are important without feeling dumb. You never bring this at the table and you're like, want to talk about it knowing that I've done research and have something to say. It's more like I'm here to explain this because I've done some research. And you
well,
never like, and I'm the one that knows everything. You're always the guy that's like, okay, so this is what I figured out. What do we feel about
right.
this?
Right. I don't know everything. And
No.
again, I am dealing off of reading some articles, trying to understand the legislation. Legislation is always somewhat confusing. But it does appear to me as if this is something people need to know about. Like I just have this feeling if you don't know about it, you're just going to be like, oh, I got a little bit of a raise somehow. And, then
Yeah.
it's just like that money's going to go wherever it goes. And then you're going to get a pay cut, the first 4 months of the year. My encouragement would be to talk to your employer and just say, what are you planning to do with this? Because this is the other part. Employees have no say over whether or not this happens in their paycheck. It's all on the employers. So, yeah,
Wow.
I would definitely talk to your employer about this because if you don't do good at saving yourself, you're going to have somebody put that money away for you, like you've been having your employer do. So,
And you
yeah,
can do that. At least we do that with our bank account. Because I'm very
right,
much like Lauren, who says, someone do it for me. I suck at saving. I used to give my money that I wanted to save to my friend, so I couldn't possibly spend it. And
right.
on it, I have been that person. I'm just starting to transition into a different level. Like my husband and I were just talking over the weekend about how different I am compared to the person that I was when we first met.
hmm
I actually, when we first started to date, he's really good with money, really good with budgeting, really good with the plan, right? And
hmm
and I'm not. So I would say just give me an allowance. Not like the creepy kind where you own me, but like
Yeah, right. Thanks for
like
the
the
clarification, honey.
like the important kind, like, hey, I have no idea how much money we have, where it's going or what, but I still want something to spend. And he said to me at the time, you broke, you don't got no money. And I said,
Right.
how about $1? And I remember getting just like even $2 or $3 and feeling like, yes, this is a win. And when it went to 10
Yeah.
and then $20, like I was so happy. And so I still live that way. Even though I am really good at budgeting, I just give myself a little bit of like freak spend money where I can go out and get a $5 latte and that's my choice to make, and then my allowance is gone.
Yeah,
And
people have a different name for that line item on the budget. But yeah, I think a lot of
budget.
I think it's important. Well, budgeting is different. I mean, it's
I
in the
know, I'm
same
just being
ballpark,
silly.
but
I'm
budgeting
being
is
silly.
different than savings, right? And I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like savings is part of the budget, but actually figuring out the way to do it is sometimes difficult. I think I would rather save on my own, especially than have, the government force me to save money. Like that seems a little weird to me, but
this is an interesting one because it's a conversation where it's like in one regard, like you're saying, you have your own personal family unit and how you guys approach it. Like Sarah goes like, oh, we have a budgeted Excel sheet. Allowances are had, savings are made, out of the way expenses like a car battery ruin everything.
well,
So
that's why you got to get that buffer savings that
there's
comes in handy.
there's that family budget unit, but what you're saying is like in this situation, there's an outside source that's going to alter and change how you have
Right.
to think about your finances. And if you're not a saving type person, or if you're not even aware that this is happening, it's important to kind of pay attention to.
And for most of us, savings is hard, right? Like paycheck to paycheck is just a real life thing for a lot of people, and it's one of those things where to figure out how to get savings into that is sometimes a difficult thing. So, if nothing else, I wanted to bring it up as a heads up and just be like, hey, this might be happening. Ask your employer so that you can be prepared for January through April when you may be getting less on your paycheck to make up for the more you got on your paycheck now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've always looked at people who can budget and can save like they're like strange aliens.
Unicorns. Yeah.
I wasn't raised to kind of think about budgeting. Budgeting was always hard and it was a punishment.
Mhm.
But as time has gone on, I'm kind of more with like understanding. Our community says saving for me is easy because I'm the definition of cheap. Budgeting is almost fun for me because it means I'll be saving more and then spend it all traveling because my fiance lives in another country.
Well, that'll do it.
But that's cool. Like that's kind of like my cousin. My cousin Bianca, who's like a sister to me, she's so good at saving and she has plans. And I remember when she lived with me for a brief time, she like went on this trip. And I was like, how do you have money to do that? And she's like, oh, I planned for it and I saved and now I'm going to go. And I was like, you can do that?
Right.
Really? Like you have the power to do that? I at the time and still struggle with, but at the time for sure lacked any ability. If I had money on the table, it was out the door. Whether it was for myself or other people, I used to spend. So
Right.
this would definitely have affected me at a time. But now we actually have our bank account automatically take money out and stick it over into a savings account. So considering this, we probably will just add that feature where we just take a little bit and scoop it over so that we budget for that. Like we know a certain amount is going out of our main account and into a savings account. So we'll probably just need to do that.
It brings up another topic that does start to walk a little bit towards the political, so I'll be careful. But it brings up the whole Social Security thing in the first place, right? Like the idea of is Social Security going to be something that's around for us?
Talking about this. No.
And it comes to mind because I read in one of the articles I read that there is a chance that they will forgive this chunk instead of making people pay it back. Currently, the plan is to make people pay it back, but they said they don't think that's going to happen because if it happens, Social Security would be completely defunded by 2023. And I'm like, wow, yeah, way to go. It's just one of those things.
Please.
Okay.
No.
All right. We'll move on.
It hurts too much.
What do you want to know? We're at the you part of the DNA and you. What topic would you like us to talk about? What question do you have for us? We will. You can ask anything. We will answer what we choose. We'll answer almost anything. We're fairly open books here.
I wanted to show you this too. I found this. This used to be up at my desk.
Yeah.
Because
Muppets.
someone once told me that I looked like this when I played guitar.
Okay.
So I didn't know whether that was a good thing or a bad thing.
How did you feel about that?
Well,
Where
I
did
just
you
want to
land?
draw attention to this really terrifying thing in her mouth, which I think is supposed to be her uvula.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that actually
That
looks
can't
like
be a
some
tongue,
sort
right?
of alien.
Mm-hmm.
So I was super actually excited about this because I think this chick is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all.
The Electric Mayhem. Archimedes Amazonas says, non-divisive question. We'll see about that.
We can make anything divisive.
That's right.
If you have the proper imagination, anything can be very divisive.
What is the best breakfast food? Bacon, I think, is the go-to. Danae, what would you say?
Probably egg.
Bacon.
Egg.
Bacon. See,
egg.
Anything can be divisive. Honestly, genuinely, there is nothing I love that is considered breakfast food more than a great breakfast sandwich, like a really well done grilled buttered bread with some egg and American cheese and some bacon, maybe some ham in there too.
Cheese is so delicious.
Yeah, that works for me very well. Slab says tater tot waffles topped with fried egg and bacon. I don't know, man.
Tater tot waffle. I still have not tried.
Sweet.
I still have not tried. Have you? Have you tried a tater tot waffle yet?
Oh no.
No, I haven't tried it. I really, really, really want to though. So.
Yeah. Lots of people chiming in and bacon and egg. Lolly says, "Oh no, wait, croissant."
Croissant.
Croissant.
I have one from Nick here.
Okay.
Family movie night was the first of 8 weeks of Halloween. Nightmare Before Christmas. What movies do you watch for the spooky season?
Well, first you're assuming I celebrate the spooky season, which is not something I've ever done. That's very good, Danae. That's very good.
Super great at ghost sounds.
Do you celebrate? It sounds like your husband is into all like the different seasons and stuff. Does he have like movies that go along with October-ish, fall, Halloween kind of stuff?
Our regular things we do in the holiday season usually just circles around decorations, and now we're starting to develop like more food type things. We don't yet watch, but now that we have Iris, I'm guessing it'll be kid shows. I'm guessing it'll be like
The Great Pumpkin. That's
the Great Pumpkin. Yeah, stuff like that, where we'll kind of watch. She's starting to see, because anytime like Daniel Tiger will have fall stuff start to come in, and these different ones will have fall themes. And so we're starting to see some themes coming in. And she knows about Halloween, and she knows kind of that things are about to look different. We're trying to kind of prepare her for that.
Sure.
So ours will be a little different. Decorations is going to start because now we live in a neighborhood that decorates. So we for the first time ever have purchased a large Halloween decoration. So ours are definitely more like that rather than something that we watch.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I don't know. We'll see.
Slab mentions the Treehouse of Horror from The Simpsons. That's always a fun one.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fun, annual thing.
If you guys have a suggestion for like really laid back kids movies, like let me know. You can DM me on Twitter.
Say that, I pop up
my God, no.
Danae, please report back. Please report back on your family viewing of The Shining and let us know Iris's thoughts. I'd love to.
Iris
would
turn into Jonathan.
Oh, mercy. Adam's Family, maybe.
That might be a good one. Yeah, that's kind of like less creepy. It's just spooky. Casper. Smart. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Coraline is an interesting choice. When's the last time you saw Coraline? Because there might be some conversations after that one. I've
never seen it.
Oh, okay. So I've watched it recently, and it is pretty dark. It's pretty scary.
Like in what way?
Like in that she is kidnapped by an otherworld version of her mother and father, and she has to decide whether she wants to live with the dark side mother and father or the real mom and dad who kind of ignore her, and so like reality with kind of absent parenting or darkness with everything you ever wanted kind of idea. It's pretty dark, but that's an interesting one. So
I'm at that place now where people regularly say that you can watch things with the child and they're going to be picking up things that like you'll see things, they're not going to think about them. But I'm
Right.
constantly wondering, like, what is getting into her mind,
Like the
you know?
subconscious and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lucas says, "How about Coco? That's a Halloween
Oh,
movie,
that's a
right?
good one.
Technically, Day of the Dead.
Technically,
Technically
technically.
not Halloween,
Well, but it has
it
that
does
vibe,
deal
though.
with spirits and ghosts. It's more about ancestors than
Yeah.
really spooky things. But
But
we'll
also it
allow
has
it.
that
We'll allow it.
vibe, though, like the Hallows Eve. Like, I think that I can understand how that would be in that same
Sure,
category.
sure, sure. Yeah, I get it
So,
as well.
yeah, those are really great suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Casper, I haven't thought about that movie in forever. Wasn't that Christina Ricci?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
I have to look it up. Lily says Coco is more devastating to adults. I cried
Okay.
hard. I love Coco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you were like, I sob at Finding Nemo all the time? And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
totally.
what? Finding Nemo? And you're like, Danae, I'm a dad.
Mm-hmm.
It gets
Sure.
me in the feels.
Yeah, yeah.
Haven't watched it since having Iris. We put it
Finding
on
Nemo?
last night.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Dude.
Really?
Justin walks by at one point in time. It's at the very end when like he's
Sure.
having this flashback because Nemo's in the net after the, swim down.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the very, very end. And he like goes over and Nemo's like a little bit passed out or whatever. And he like goes over and his little fin goes over and it flashes back to when he was just like this little egg.
Yeah. Oh.
And Justin like stops dead in his tracks
Uh-huh.
in front of the TV.
Yep.
And I'm watching him and I'm watching the show and I'm watching him and I'm watching the show. I'm like, don't do it, Danae. Don't do it, Danae. And like he's starting to tear up and then I'm starting to tear up and he's just like, and then his little lucky fin comes up and we're just like, oh God. It's such a like
Stop the show.
We're like just like, oh God, Finding Nemo.
That movie, man. You think you could do these things, Nemo, but you can't.
Oh yeah, man. Oof. Anyhow, so
that's fun
yeah,
one.
I'm sure every movie is gonna feel a little different to me now. I didn't realize that I wasn't gonna be able to keep
It's
it
okay,
together.
right? Like people will say like, just wait until you're a parent and it's
Yeah.
like, well, no, that's not necessarily it. It's just everybody comes from a different place. Everybody has different experiences. Parenting is one of my experiences. And so some movies are going to hit me differently because they do, deal with parenting. Somebody else's experiences are different. So it's because sometimes I feel like it comes off as like better than, you just don't understand because you've never, and it's like, why do we treat each other like that? It's more just about this does impact me because of, kind of what I've been through and how my world has been. So
Yeah.
and as a dad of 4 boys, like Finding Nemo is going to slay me. So and it does every single time.
I can see why. For real.
Oh man, I want to see Dear Evan Hansen so bad, Cyregdo. I'm excited to check that out and cry. I don't mind crying. That's something you'll learn about. Like crying is not something I fear or try to avoid.
He thinks it's healthy. I'm just kidding.
I think expressing my emotions is healthy. Very strange. Why? Why would you think so?
Oh my gosh. What a fun time with you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We, like Aaron said earlier, we do this Mondays at 9 a.m. Central. And then some days, if we can do this another time throughout the week, we will pop on, hang out, have something fun to say and share. Because we go live on so many different platforms, you find a spot and make sure that you follow or subscribe. And if there's a notification option, try to find that and turn it on. Otherwise, we usually will just tweet out. That's kind of our go-to place is to tweet when we're live. And that will link to Periscope. You can also find us on YouTube. We have 2 locations for Periscope, 1 location for YouTube, 2 locations for Twitch. So it's just, like I said, there's a lot of places to find the show. And we really appreciate however you come in. We appreciate you coming and hanging out. It's incredibly fun for us. This is something that Aaron and I love to do. It harkens back to our radio days, but also at the same time, we have just such a wonderful community of people that we have been talking to and enjoying for all this time. So for everyone to be coming together in this new space, it's actually for me really exciting because I get to see old friends and new friends meeting and hanging out, even though we're on different platforms. And honestly, that's a big part of what Aaron and I are passionate about. Is that there's a lot of it's really easy to see differences between people, different platforms, different places of the world that we live in. But then there's some places we can gather and we're all just hanging out as one, just the same. And that's the goal of what we do. We just want to create a fun place for us to connect, feel a little jolt of joy and energy and love and fun and laughter, and then go back to our lives. So that's all I have to say. I guess I just got a couple of thinking about Finding Nemo, and I just.
I don't remember if we gave a shout out to Nicholas or not for becoming a part of Team DNA. Wanted to make sure I get that out there. Thank you, Nicholas, for being another member. Again, that's $5 a month. 9 members away from making me wear whatever shirt you want for an entire week, as opposed to my single black shirt. So continue to do that. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it. And again, that is at patreon.com/Studio DNA. Lots of other fun podcasts there to listen to as well that are on the Studio DNA network. So patreon.com/Studio DNA is where you would go for that. I think we're good. Oh, I'm sorry, new user says, didn't get a notification for this until 40 minutes in.
Well, yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
The good news is it'll be here, so you can go back and watch. And we're glad to have you here for the last few minutes. I'm trying to think what we could do special for the last little bit here for new user. What do you think, Danae? What?
Oh,
anything we could do?
We could call them on the phone instead of text. Email.
Let me say this. This is how we end our Shoe the Dough podcast, and we'll just end it this way today. Thank you so much for being a fun part of this little community. Remember, your quirks aren't bugs, they're features. Find them, celebrate them, and know you are loved and valuable for just being you. We will catch you next time on the Morning DNA.